What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just got done my first official stream of Black Ops 6, so I'm fresh off of the game, and I'm ready to give you guys my first initial impressions of Black Ops 6. Of course, don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be posting a bunch of content revolving around Black Ops 6 and X-Defiant, and more detailed commentaries about this game as well. For now, like I said, since I've only gotten about 4 to 5 hours into the game, I'm just going to let you guys know how I initially feel, but as time goes on, I will get into more subjects that, I think that a lot of the community is a little concerned about. But of course, like I said, subscribe and hit that bell, and I appreciate everybody who tuned into the stream the other day to hang out with me for my first initial impressions of Black Ops 6. Of course, if you guys want to hang out with me again today, I'll be live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time over on Twitch. Of course, we host open lobbies, so if you need a squad, which I highly suggest, because of course you guys know how solo play goes in Call of Duty nowadays with the skill-based matchmaking system, it's not the best thing in the world. So, of course, tune to the stream. I got a link to that down in the description of this video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys already know skill-based matchmaking is going to be a massive factor of Black Ops 6 and probably everybody's opinion over this game. But on this channel, I like to discuss the game itself and how the developers handle it. And, the whole time throughout Modern Warfare 3, I gave it a fair critique, all the updates, all the patches, everything. And in every one of those videos, I still had to mention, I get it, the skill-based matchmaking ruins the game, but Sledgehammer Games did this good, they did that good, they did this good. I always have to mention it because people will say I'm insane for critiquing the game without skill-based matchmaking in my mind, but you have to, because you have to keep in mind, the developers don't want this crap. I mean, Michael Condrey from Sledgehammer Games, before he got moved to a different development team, already came out, openly said that that's an Activision thing. They are the ones who implement that. It has nothing to do with the developers. So with that knowledge, I always tried to critique these games based off of the game itself and how the developers handle it, and not off of the skill-based matchmaking. And I'll be real, guys, we waited a long time for this, right? I mean, let's be honest here. Treyarch has been literally thrown through the ringer time and time and time again. Black Ops 4, they had to completely strip their whole campaign, and they also had to revamp their whole game for a Battle Royale. Black Ops Cold War, literally, we couldn't even figure out who was going to be going ahead and developing the game. Basically, it was between Sledgehammer and Raven, but they both got stripped off of the title, and Treyarch had to come up and pick up the mess and put that together. So once again, no time, they had to force out a game. Black Ops 6 is the first time we are seeing Treyarch in a long time with a full development cycle, actually more than a full development cycle with 4 years. And I think a lot of us were thinking, if this screws up, then there's no excuse for Treyarch, right? Like, we all look at the other games like Black Ops 4 and Cold War and think to ourselves, it's like, it's a rough game. It's a really rough game, but they didn't have time to do what they wanted to do. So with that knowledge, it's not too shabby, because with the time that they had, they actually put together something decent. So with 4 years, there's no excuse, right? There's absolutely no excuse whatsoever. But I can confirm this game actually plays pretty dang good. The beta form of this game was just really atrocious for mouse and keyboard. And although I will say, I think controller is going to be a little bit more solid on Black Ops 6, for a mouse player, night and day difference. 1010% a night and day difference. It is so responsive now, and I really freaking appreciate that, seriously, because I was worried that the PC side of this game was just going to get completely ignored and destroyed, because back in Modern Warfare 3, the beta played fine, and going into the full build in Modern Warfare 3, it felt fine. Black Ops 6, on the other hand, it was off, and like I said, I just didn't know if they were going to even bother. I really didn't, but they did. They did a phenomenal job with it, and the performance has improved. Now, I do know, for a lot of other people on PC right now, the performance is a little crusty, so we do need some further performance fixes. But when it comes to how responsive the mouse feels, it's not clunky, floaty, or sluggish anymore. It just feels fast, quick, and responsive. And again, I really like that as a mouse and keyboard player. I really freaking enjoy that. The map selection, another thing I wanted to go ahead and discuss again, and I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm just giving my first initial impressions. I might go deeper into the maps, or deeper into the weapons, or deeper into all these other topics, but just off of my first initial playthrough, these are my opinions. But with the maps, they weren't as bad as I was expecting. Now, they are absolutely small, and a lot of them, the spawns are horrific. But again, I'm not going to judge the spawns just yet, because it's day one. They need a little time to cook with the spawns, with the game being in, obviously the full build. The game just launched in the full build. They can finally test it out with the public. This is what they need. So I'm assuming the spawns are going to be perfected over the upcoming weeks. I can't wait to see how they resolve that. But the maps aren't as bad as I expected. This map right here, I believe it's called Vorkuta. This is my favorite because it's one of the largest maps. And you guys know me, I like larger maps. It's not many maps like this. Not many maps with tons of different, let me take away that statement, because I was going to say it's not a lot of maps with a lot of flank spots. But I shouldn't say that, because these maps are very interesting. That's why I don't want to judge the maps just yet. I want to play them further and understand them, because the maps are small, but there's so many ways of navigating them, whether they have water maps and you can swim under, under the platforms, or, secret passageways, underground, but there's so many ways, zip lines. The ways that you can maneuver all these maps, despite the size, makes it so it's not locked, because that was my worry. When I was playing Skyline or whatever that map was, or what was the other map? Just every map that they gave to us in the beta, they were pretty basic, with like maybe one pathway that you can kind of work around. But other than that, it's, it's basic. Someone holds left flank, someone holds middle, someone holds right flank, and that's all you have to do. There's no other way around it, and the only way to, get out of your frickin' spawn is to stun the person off the head glitch, or just win the engagement and you can finally move up off of the map. But you guys know how that goes. If you're versing a bunch of really skilled players, maybe you're playing solo, and you got a 6-stack, the chance of you gunning off these guys off these head glitches is very slim. Basically nothing. Nada. So it's a pain, but the rest of the maps in the rotation, I'm slightly impressed. I'm not quite there yet to say they're great or anything, but I'll say they're good. That's all I'm feeling, is they are good. And the more I play them, maybe my opinions will change, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that they're, pretty solid off of what you played, or do you think that they're just average or horrible? The audio is also something I want to go ahead and touch upon, because of the, the new info about the $20 bundle you could purchase for more enhanced audio. Now, I will say, I feel like the actual sound itself is a tad bit low, especially coming off of a game like, X-Defiant or even Modern Warfare 3. A lot of the sounds were way more noticeable. I feel like my headset was down. Like the volume was decreased on my headset when I loaded up Black Ops 6 in the actual match itself. Not like the pre-game music or anything like that. No, I'm talking about like basically, in-game sounds, footsteps, gunshots, explosions. Sounded all reduced, but the quality of those sound effects are really, I will say, Black Ops 6 probably has the best audio we've had in Call of Duty in a long time. And again, I'm only a few hours in, so I don't know if this is going to benefit this franchise or be a negative to this franchise. But the way that the footsteps sound, whether, once again, you're running inside, running outside, running in a hallway, the echoes that it makes, whether you're shooting shots in a hallway or running in a hallway, the distance of an opponent, and how clean the sound transfers, especially when someone is running inside and they transfer to running outside. You hear it perfectly. I've seen many engagements where, I'm catching an enemy jumping through a window, and the way they sound when they're coming, when they're sprinting from indoors and then jumping out and landing outside and continuing to try to move, it's awesome. And it makes the game pretty solid when it comes to, the sound. It's just, I don't know how the enhanced sound sounds like, though. If the enhanced sound increases the volume, I can see it being extraordinarily OP, but again, I don't know. I'm not buying it. I don't care. But if others have seen videos, or you guys know other content creators who have tested it out, fill me in on the details down in the comments section on, what that's all about. Weapons pretty much all feel really balanced. I mean, I didn't use the snipers and I didn't use the marksmans. I saw the Dragunov sniper is pretty OP right now, so it's going to have to get nerfed soon. But ARs, so far, I unlocked 4 of them. All of them I love. I love each and every AR I've used so far. SMGs, I'm still a little iffy with them, but they're not bad. I think the weapon variety is pretty decent. And honestly, going into, the upcoming weeks, upcoming months, they're going to balance things out, update things, and I think it's going to get better and better over time, and it's going to be a lot of fun weapons to use within this game. And for people who are camo grinding, I don't think it's going to be too shabby, I think it's going to be a fun experience. I'm not personally doing it, because I'll be real with you guys, I just don't see any reason in grinding. I'll prestige and stuff like that in this game, but I'm not even going to rush it. I'm not going to rush any of it. If it happens, it happens. But at the end of the day, the way I look at Call of Duty now is it's a yearly cycle. The game is going to die in a year. I don't see any reason to, put in a crap ton of effort if all of it's going to be irrelevant in a year. Yeah, I got to be real with you guys. As much as the game might be fun or something like that, it's not going to change that fact. Until they put it on a 2-year cycle, I'm just not going to be that invested as I used to be. But ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. Just because I'm not invested into the, those grinds doesn't mean I'm not invested into, keeping you guys up to date with the patch notes and updates. That's my favorite part about this. Following the game, following the process. And honestly, that's going to kind of lead me to my final, say here. I don't want to really talk your guys' ears off about all these fine, details and these subjects because it's just my first initial impressions video and I have a bunch of other content planned to discuss with you guys and hold, some fun conversations. But again, it just kind of all boils down to the same thing. It's a fun, entertaining God game. The skill-based matchmaking makes it almost hell to play, though, at times. Unless you are going to go ahead and squad up with a full 6 stack of demon players, then it, gets a little bit easier. But if you're playing solo, you're definitely going to be in for a treat. But still, the gunplay, solid. Gameplay itself, fun. Omni movement, gimmicky, but still, the pacing of the game and the pacing of the maps isn't too shabby, especially for a Treyarch game. I think it fits the Treyarch vibes that they're looking for. But it really all comes down to how the developers handle this game post-launch. That's all that matters here. Because, let's be real here, COD literally has so much money to produce these games. It went from Activision owning this franchise, now to Microsoft owning this franchise. So their pockets, have quadrupled practically at this point. So the quality of the game is not really what I'm looking at because we all know the quality is going to be fine. With how much they advertise it, for a fact that they dump a check into COD. They wouldn't put all this money into advertising for a game that, didn't have any money to, produce it. If it was a really cheaply made game, they wouldn't be going this hard. They go this hard for a reason, right? Because the games take a lot of cash to produce and they hire a lot of developers to work on them. So again, quality is not really something that I'm worried about anymore. Modern Warfare 3 dropped really well, and Black Ops 6 dropped really well. So I'm assuming that going on from here, unless Infinity Ward gunks that up and ruins the cycle, it's going to be pretty typical to see pretty decent launches when it comes to COD games. What matters is, once again, how the devs handle the after, launch support. That's it. Sledgehammer Games set up this franchise for a really successful run with how they brought back a lot of the community with their feedback, talking to us, communicating with us, and focusing on the updates that actually mattered. That was huge. Absolutely huge for Modern Warfare 3. And again, the overall franchise, I really hope Treyarch runs with this and they continue that type of feedback because that's going to be crucial for the success of this game. Because if their updates are garbage, their balance changes make no sense, and they just don't communicate with the community about things that are very crucial, we're going to run into a lot of problems. Literally, I don't think I was ever angry with Sledgehammer at all the whole time during Modern Warfare 3 when it came to, discussing things that went wrong. I treated Modern Warfare 3 like how I treat X-Defiant. The developers have proven to me time and time again they care. So guess what? I'm not going to give them crap. I'll discuss the problems, I'll lay them out, and then I'm going to hope that they address them. And if they don't, and they always ignore the issues, and they're like Infinity Ward, and they'll let things last for a full year and never change anything or fix anything, then yeah, I'm going to get pissed. And I'm not going to handle situations nicely. But I cut slack to those who show love and passion for their projects. And as long as Treyarch, literally pushes through with that and they actually communicate correctly, I think that good things will happen for this game. But again, I always have to say this at the end of the day, Activision is still going to put their grubby little paws in it. Skill-based matchmaking is still going to be a thing. And as much as, it might be fun, it's hard for me to suggest this to any casual player. I just can't because I know that you won't have the same experience as me. You won't have the same experience as someone who is sweating out with a bunch of, like I said, crazy players. Everybody's going to town. Everybody's sweating it up, and we're playing in a full 6 stack. It's probably going to be different than your environment, so I can't guarantee you're going to have the same fun. It just doesn't happen like that in Call of Duty anymore. So I guess it's up to you guys to really, make your opinions, but those are my first initial impressions, ladies and gentlemen. Please go down in the comment section, and if you did play Black Ops 6, if you downloaded it on Game Pass or anything of that sort, let me know how you're currently feeling about this game. But I'm going to actually go ahead and continue grinding this game. And of course, guys, like I said earlier, tune to the stream today. I'll be up and live at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to continuously play this, try to get more, topics to discuss, and really critique it. Get down into the details and see if there's anything wrong with it. And, obviously praise anything that Treyarch has really done a fantastic job with. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Everything between Black Ops 6 and X-Defiant, you will see on this channel. Every update, every discussion, anything that goes on with the devs. Like I said, I'm not biased towards anything, If you want to hear about games that I enjoy, like I said, fast-paced arcade shooters like this, 6v6 games, COD, X-Defiant, subscribe, hit that bell. I'm going to be covering it all. And like I literally just said, check out my stream, guys. We'll be live at 12. But as always, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.